Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having your vitamin C. I am. Okay. Let's say hello to a few friends. Guys, are you getting your notification? Brahim, numero uno, on the hit parade this morning. And Paul, how are you from Edmonton? And I realize for some of you this is a holiday. Nellie and Chrissy, how are you? Victoria, good to have you on. And Sue, how are you from St. Petersburg, Florida? Eric, Ottawa. Mary, Norwich. And Rachel, good morning. And Wendy, Markham. And Jerry, good to have you on. Nick from our staff. You're not supposed to be working today, Nick. Deb, Keith, and Sonia, St. Catharines. And Carol, the Dominican Republic. Huguette, bonjour, Manette, how are you? And Leela, nice to have you guys on. Darlene from Saskatchewan. Milika. And Donna, Park Hill. Cecilia, Sudbury. John, Elgin, Illinois. Chantal, Ottawa. Bonjour. Betty Lynn from Brantford. And Nick wants a raise. Kim, Florida. Sherry, Mississauga. And Mary, Cape Breton. Carol, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Couple of more, guys. Brenda, New Brunswick. Jeanette, bonjour. Sharon, Kansas. And April, good morning. Nice to have you on this morning. Sandra from Aurelia. Lori from Niagara Falls. Good to have you on. Maureen, Penticton, British Columbia. Cadetio, how are you? Debbie from British Columbia. Comox, I'd never heard of it. Jeanette, Evangeline, and Linda. I was waiting for a Linda to come on. Bruno, North Bay. Jennifer, happy family day, yeah, in Ontario at least. Deb, Timmins, another Linda. Gary, Coffee in Bolton. And Marcia Haloa from Mexico. And Fran, and I missed someone there from BC. My fault. I was fooling around. Okay, let's get back. We didn't answer all the questions on Question and Answer Friday. Maybe we'll do something else this morning, but we'll see how much time this takes, okay? Because Brenda is asking, will you discuss appropriate for the reset cheese and other dairy products such as cottage cheese, sour cream, HWC, what's that? Cream cheese, okay? Look, okay, good question. I'm going to take my book out, Sun, Steak, and Steel, where I have the reset, all the question and answers, because I get asked that question all the time, Brenda, okay? I get questioned about this all the time, okay? On page, let me see. Cheese, okay? This is on page 124 of my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel. Curds, cheddar, Swiss, mozzarella, cream cheese, brie, full-fat cottage cheese, full-fat sour cream, Colby, goat cheese, marble cheese strings, Monterey cheese, Jack, any cheese. Now look, Brenda, obviously, like in anything, there's good, better, best. Because you're asking about organic. Does organic labeling assure a clean product? Yeah, pretty well. You know, there's rules for organic in Canada, and I'm sure in the United States too. Okay? Now, Do some companies maybe get around it a bit? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. But my overarching principle for food is this, okay? And I look, if you are metabolically unwell, you're part of the 93%, okay? You're in trouble. And I always place people who are in trouble on the Titanic when it comes to their health. You're on the Titanic. And what I always tell people is, when they first start the reset, don't worry about the furniture. Don't worry about the deck chairs. Don't worry about changing the decor on the Titanic. Don't worry about that stuff. Worry about not hitting the iceberg. And some people already hit the iceberg. I tell them, jump in the lifeboat. That's what the reset does. The reset helps everything. Okay? Because it gets to the root of the problem of everything. Okay? The number one issue is insulin and insulin resistance. You got to change that. Okay? You got to change that. Now, Brenda, as you go down the road of health, okay, and thousands of people are well down that road, okay, they're off the broad road, like Jesus said, okay, the broad road that leads to destruction, and many will be on it, okay. So look at the world out there. And they're eating wrong. They're carboholics. They're on the broad road. They're into trouble. They might not realize it because they look around and go, well, everybody's eating like this. Must be true. No, it's not true at all. It's not good for them. So I know that's simplistic, but you want to, now that if you're down the road on the narrow road, and now you can have a look at the furniture. And you can rearrange the deck chairs if you want. And look for organic. And look for better cuts of meat. Look for organic. And, and I got no problem with that. But you have to understand, when I start talking to people, especially new folks, on the Doctors In podcast or whatever, I always tell them, look, get the big picture first. Get the big picture first. Understand why you are doing this. Okay? Understand. Like, if you're doing it strictly for weight loss, okay. But it really wasn't designed primarily for weight loss. It's for your health. It becomes healthy weight loss. But some people don't need to lose weight, but they need to lower their insulin. They need to lower their markers of inflammation. So again, Brenda, that's what I'm getting at. So when you look at, you want me to be more specific. This is one of the reasons that we formed the private Facebook group, okay? It's one of the reasons. Because we want people to interact with each other and give ideas and reinforcement. And look, you know what I mean? Like, there are so many, including our staff, that are so good at responding with types of cheeses and types of meat. And this is a good one. And this is organic. And this one isn't. Or, yada, yada, yada. Like all that stuff, we really appreciate the feedback within our group. Okay? But like I said, you have to understand where I'm coming from. I had a radio show for 20 years. I talked in generalities because they weren't my patients. They were calling in. If they were in the office, I might get more specific. But even in the office, I used to send them home with a plan to succeed, not a plan to, look, if I made it too complicated, they wouldn't do it. Like I said, I use that illustration all the time, the Titanic. Turn the ship around. You're going to hit an iceberg and it's going to sink you. Or some people, they already hit that iceberg. They were in such bad shape. I said, okay, but your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. You can turn this ship around, or at least get into a lifeboat. Okay? So, is it like you're asking a question here? They're good questions. What are some of the cheeses that are better than others? Well, ask that question, Brenda, in our private Facebook group. If you belong to it, if you don't, join up and ask the question. You're going to get the answers from our group. That's how good our group is. Like me, like I'll tell you what cheese I like. Okay. No, but I love cheese, okay? And I love marble cheese. And I love, like a medium cheddar or whatever. I love that stuff. I'm a big cheese guy. But can you get better? Yeah. Can you find unpasteurized cheese? Now that's a good question. Because the laws in North America are pretty strict when it comes to dairy and pasteurization. But you guys answer the question, okay? You guys answer that question. I don't know if you can find, like if you got a farmer, and you folks that have a farm, okay? But the rules are very, very strict when it comes to pasteurization. And I'm not really for that, in a sense that I understand why they did it, but they denature food. But, good luck trying to find unpasteurized as far as I know, but maybe somebody knows better than me. No hormones though, and no antibiotics, and grass-fed. And yeah, I like all that stuff. I do. Okay, I do. But good, better, best, okay? And good is fine when you start off with the reset. Thanks, Brenda, for the question. Susan was asking on Friday, or at least for Friday, what effects do low blood glucose readings have on the body? Well, look, okay, Susan, and you're a type 2 diabetic. That's what you said. Look, you don't want sugar to go high, and you don't want it to be too low, okay? And that can happen. It can happen. But I'm going to suggest to you when you are, a type 1 diabetes is different. If you're type 1, that's an autoimmune disease, and your pancreas doesn't work properly, and you've got trouble with insulin, you better monitor your blood sugar very carefully, okay? And those people don't want to go into low blood sugar. Now, if you're a type 2 diabetic and you've changed your diet and you've gone on the reset, your blood sugars are going to go down. That's part of the reason we do it. Your blood sugars are going to go down. Your A1C is going to go down. What I suggest to people that are type 2, okay, look, I want you to monitor your blood sugar, but don't go crazy about it. Go by your feelings. Now, I don't live on feelings, okay? I don't want you to live on feelings. If you got a blood glucose monitor, use it. But don't use it 10 times a day when you're on the reset. You're going to drive yourself crazy. It's just like a blood pressure cuff. And people used to come in and they had pages and pages. And I mean it, a book. Doc, you want to look at my blood pressure? Yeah. Do you want to see my book? No. Like, they had a book. 4 or 5 times a day. Blood pressure. When over 20. Like I heard, I said, I'm not interested in that. What? I don't want to know. I don't want to know what your blood pressure is 2 months ago. I want to know what it is right now, and I just took your blood pressure. Okay? And I don't care what it was yesterday. Now, I'm not telling you shouldn't check your blood pressure, but don't live. I know people, they're monitored, like they can hardly do anything, and they take their blood pressure. It drives me mental. I said, your blood pressure is high because you're taking your blood pressure every 5 minutes. You're stressing yourself out. Like, stop. Take it once a day. You know? And again, okay? And again, I'm not trying to even give medical advice per se. For every individual, you got to do your thing. But I'm just telling you that, and I know you asked a question, Susan, on blood sugar. Your blood sugar, it's on its way down. You're a type 2 diabetic. You're actually not eating, on the reset, you're not eating the food that you're allergic to. You have an allergy. Diabetes is an allergy to carbs. It's an allergy. Now, you guys think I made that up. Well, I was the first guy to say it. I said it 25 years ago on my radio. Okay? On my radio show. You have an allergy. You and carbs don't get along. You have a food intolerance. Any carb, Dr. Martin? Any carb. You just don't get along. Okay? So, type 2, adult onset, better known as sugar diabetes. You need to avoid sugar. Okay? So, Susan, if your blood sugar is too low and you don't feel good, then you need to eat some more protein. Not carbs, protein. Because you and protein, Susan, get along well. Now, somebody was on, I think this morning, I read it this morning, but it might have come on last night on our private Facebook group. And a woman is showing that she lost hair on the reset. And I didn't answer because I was busy. But what I wanted to say is 99.9% of people on the reset find that their hair is better than ever. They don't lose hair, they gain hair. And I always tell them, here's a rule of thumb. Here's a rule of thumb when it comes to hair. Woman's hair. Men, we lose hair. Welcome to being a man. And I know in the world today, they want to cloud up all that. You know? What you were born as. Do you have the chromosomes for a man? Okay, this is not for you. Women, this is for you. The biggest problem in hair loss, you know what it is in women? They don't eat enough protein. Yeah, thyroid can be involved. Hormones can be involved. But the number one reason that women lose their hair is because they don't eat enough protein. They think they do, but when they live on plant protein, you're making a big, big mistake. You need animal protein. the amino acid profile for hair. You know why? Because if you take a strand of hair, okay? Now, I can't afford to lose any. Okay? So I'm not using my strand. Okay? My wife, she's got hair unreal. Okay? Beautiful. Okay? The Bible says a woman's hair is her glory. Because women are supposed to have nice hair. They are. And I'm very observant. When I see a woman that's got thinning hair, I used to be a hormone doctor. Okay? So I go, either you got hormones and your thyroid is slowed down to a crawl. I could tell just by looking at their eyebrows. I said, that's your thyroid. But the other one was, you're not eating enough protein. Even your thyroid needs protein to work properly. And you're not eating enough. You're living on salad. If you take a strand of hair, it's 99% of that hair is protein. We don't need enough of it. And when someone puts a picture on, they're losing hair, and they're on the reset, I don't call them weird. I tell them it's not the reset. It's a coincidency. It's a coincidence. You got hormones, my dear. I should find your name. It's hormones. It's not the reset. The reset is exactly what your hair needs. It needs protein. It needs animal fat. You know, these people today with the religion of vegetarianism, it's a religion. Veganism, it's a religion. It's not true. And they buy it because it's promoted. But it's not true. I do this every day, and you guys know me. You must get tired of listening to me. Bring me a steak and then bring me broccoli. And I'll tell you the difference is legion. Somebody was asking the other day on the private Facebook group, how much vitamin B1 does Dr. Martin recommend? How many steaks, you mean, a day? You want B1? Eat steak. Every B vitamin, including B12, is found in a steak. Every B vitamin. You want all your B vitamins? Eat eggs, meat, and cheese. You want vitamin K2? Not found in the plant kingdom. It's not there. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Dr. Martin, what about B12? Only in red meat. Not found anywhere else. What can I tell you? Case closed. The argument is over. Now, you can use propaganda. You'll get it every day. On Netflix, social media, mainstream media, your family doctor, your dietitian, and unfortunately, even nutritionists. They'll tell you about the importance of fiber. I go crazy. It gives me a headache. Dr. Martin, fiber. Well, okay. It's insoluble, almost all of it. Why do you think that's good for you? Your body doesn't absorb it. Oh, I want a big poop. Okay. Because that's what it is. Okay, why did I talk about that in the first place? Okay? Why did I talk about it? I don't even remember. I got on a sidetrack. Okay, thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Susan. Helen. Will Navitol overcome the damage to your blood vessels that continued smoking has on them? Well, the good news is about your body, okay? It is an amazing regeneration machine. It really is, okay? It really is. Now, smoking, everyone knows. There's not anyone on the planet, okay, that believes that smoking is good for you. We got the memo on that. I like that. I thought it was great by medicine. My dad in 1962. He was a smart man. He smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day. He said, see these Buckinghams? And I watched him with my eyeballs open up the trash can, and he said, I'll never smoke another cigarette a day. Now, you have to understand, in my home, my dad smoked, my older brothers smoked, my mom smoked. I lived around smoke. It didn't matter where I went, there was smoke. The only place I think there was no smoke, as far as I can remember, was in church. No, but seriously, okay? Smoke everywhere. My dad comes home 1962. I was 10 years old. Put the cigarettes in the trash can, and my dad, I adored my father. I remember it was like yesterday. He said, this causes cancer, therefore, no more for me. Now, my mom never stopped smoking. My dad did. And he told me why. And that left a lasting impression on me. I never did smoke. I mean, I stole a few cigarettes in my lifetime from my mother's Peter Jacksons, more to impress my friends. And, but I didn't, I never got into it. But we got the memo on smoking. Okay? Now, back to your question. Navitol, here's why it is so good for your blood vessels, okay? And I've proven that to tens of thousands of patients, okay, over the years. Navitol, okay, here's what it does. First of all, it elevates your nitric oxide, okay? Nitric oxide is a little explosion, a molecule that opens up your blood vessels. Okay? So what happens in smoking, your blood vessels are damaged. Okay? So your nitric oxide is down. But Navitol helps to elevate nitric oxide. Now, secondly, it's a very powerful antioxidant. See, what smoking does is it oxidizes blood vessels. It damages. You know how you damage a blood vessel? You oxidize it. Oxidation. Okay? You know what oxidation is? Cut an apple in half, and right before your eyeballs, it'll age. Oxidation, right? Doesn't take long. Just cut the apple in half. Holy moly, that happened fast. Starts turning brown. That's oxidation. Now, if you put a couple of drops, okay, cut the apple in half. I've done this with people. I did this on a TV. Okay, I brought an apple, put a few drops on one side, cut the apple, of lemon juice, which is a little bit of vitamin C in it, an antioxidant. And you saw, within a few minutes, brown on one side of the apple, and the antioxidant side stayed white longer. That's the power of an antioxidant. Pine bark extract, okay, is the most powerful antioxidant in a supplement on the planet. I've said this Vitamin C is good. Coffee is better. The real vitamin C is better. And pine bark has the highest amount of antioxidant. It's anti-aging. So it coats your blood vessels. It helps to repair the little lining, the Teflon lining that you have in your blood vessels. Okay? Now, are you going to undo all the years of smoking damage? Possibly. But you're sure going to help yourself. And, you know, I'm saying, Helen, if you're not smoking, but maybe your hubby is or whatever, pray for them so they'll stop. Like, what a habit, right? But, you know, for someone that smoked all their lives or whatever, you know, you go to, I always get a kick out of this, go to the hospital, and you got people out in the middle of winter, they're coming out and they got their line of IV, and they're smoking. Like, man, are you hooked? Wow. And we all know what the tobacco company, they got caught. We all know what they did. They lied about tobacco. And then guess what happened when they got caught in the lie? Nobody went to jail. They all transferred to the food industry so they could hook you on sugar. That's the truth. They were masters of addiction. Ooh, don't get me started. Okay, John, what are Dr. Martin's views on measles? Well, it's viral, right? And it's not eradicated. And as a matter of fact, I just read something, I think it was yesterday, that down south in Ontario, at least, there's a few cases of measles. And I got the measles as a kid. Did you, John? And it's a virus. Here's the way I look at things, John, okay? Here's the way I look at things. You have the viruses, bacteria, okay? Fungus. You ain't ever getting away from that stuff, okay? You're never going to get away from it. We found out that through the virus that went around the world, COVID, you ain't getting away from it. There's going to be new things every year, in my opinion, coming. More resistant bacteria and more resistant virus. You can't even see them. And people worry about that. Virus, measles, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Well, John, that's not me. What I worry about, or what I try and teach my patients, my former patients now, and you guys educationally, build your immune system. So I look at the host more than the invader. There's always going to be the invader. Always. And people that tell me, Dr. Martin, I never get sick. Well, never? No, I never get sick. Well, okay. You are a rare exception, and I'm not so worried that every once in a while you're going to have to put yourself in bed for 24 hours or whatever. You're not going to feel good. And I don't see that as a big defeat, okay? I really don't. I was in practice too long. I said, look, your immune system is supercharging itself. Now, you probably had a perfect storm, didn't get enough sleep, you know, you picked up a bug, Let's get over this thing as quickly as possible. Let's prevent as much as we can. Build your immune system. That's why I talk about the invisible mask of vitamin A. There's no better mask in the world than vitamin A. And when you eat steak, eggs, meat, and cheese, you're eating vitamin A. Vitamin A is not in the plant kingdom. That's another reason. Now, did I tell you you can't have any plants? No, I didn't say that. But don't tell me you should live on them. Vitamin A is the best mask because it protects your... If you touch your eyes, okay? You know how most viruses get into your body? Okay? You cover your nose and your mouth. Good for you. With a mask. Doesn't work against the virus. You learn that first day in medical school. Day one. You know what they teach you in medical school first day? If it's a virus, good luck with a mask. It doesn't work. It's too small. But the invisible mask is vitamin A. And then vitamin D. You want to protect yourself against a virus and bacteria? Then you need your T cells, your Navy SEALs of your immune system to work properly. Therefore, you need vitamin D. Make sure that level is good. Vitamin A, vitamin D, probiotics, oil of oregano. Immune system. Those are your superchargers. Those are the things you need because leaky gut, leaky everything. Okay? Got the memo? Okay. I think I had one more question. Who asked me this? Okay? Still's disease. That's what I read. I can't remember who it was. Karen, adult Still disease. You know what Still's disease is? It can happen in infants. It's a sudden, very rare inflammatory disease. Autoimmune. And they can get a rash and it stills. In adults, it's autoimmune. The body, for whatever reason, turned on itself. Start with leaky gut. Fix leaky gut. Get your vitamin D level. You know, somebody said to me the other day, oh, my doctor doesn't want me on vitamin D because they said that'll increase my immune system. Well, holy moly, they finally said it. And I have autoimmune, so don't increase your immune. Nah, the immune system don't work like that. The immune system is very complicated. And it's not just a matter, oh, I take vitamin D, therefore my immune system is going to be too strong, and therefore that's going to complicate my autoimmune. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. And they say, don't take probiotics because it'll help your immune system. We don't want to help your immune system. Yes, you do. Even in autoimmune. Because it starts with leaky gut. You better fix it. That's why I talk about probiotics all the time. Okay? And usually starts with leaky gut. Could have been antibiotics. Could be perfect storm with stress and low immune function. And then, because I saw that so often with polymyalgia. Okay? Rheumatica. And rheumatoid arthritis and all that. They're all autoimmune. The body, it's a perfect storm. Okay. Okay, guys. I didn't get to anything else I wanted to talk about. I think I answered all the questions. Okay? We love you guys. I know I don't say it enough, and I mean it. And we'll talk to you soon.